Now, on a special edition of KGW News, a brush fire sparks near Hillsborough. Crews are working to keep the flames from spreading, and more resources are being called in to help. Plus, a tragic accident on the Columbia River turns fatal. Multnomah County Sheriff's Office shares a message about water safety. And later, Portland police remain on high alert for street takeovers. We look at the numbers from this weekend-long mission to prevent illegal racing. And welcome to this special edition of KGW News at 6:30. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Adams. Our top story, Tualatin Fire and Rescue is responding to a brush fire in Washington County near Hillsborough. A road closure is in effect in the area, and that includes Campbell Road between Laurel Road and McNay Road and up McCormick Hill Road. Our Ashley Grams is live near the area. Ashley, what do we know so far?
Well, John, I get to share a little bit of good news here. Tualatin Fire telling me this fire is contained. They're here mopping up. Crews are on scene, and it's not just Tualatin Fire. We also have several other agencies out here, including Dundee and Hillsborough. They're continuing to work here, and they will be for the next few hours. But what I do want to show you is some video from folks in the area who were driving by who saw these flames and saw this smoke. The firefighters say it started with about 2 acres, and that quickly jumped up to 80 acres. This fire moving quickly because of the hot weather and dry grasses, but firefighters were able to protect all of the homes in the area.
Our crews did a wonderful job of protecting the structures. It didn't get to any homes or affect any lives, and no injuries were reported. So our crews did an amazing job containing it to what we have so far.
Now, this firefighter telling me that they did call in for air support, but they were able to get these flames under control and cancel that air support, although they tell me that the Oregon Department of Forestry and state resources are out here just to take a look as they continue to mop up this fire. These road closures still in effect for at least the next hour. We'll continue to monitor this situation throughout the night. John.
All right, Ashley, thank you. Definitely good news from Washington County. Well, let's check in now with meteorologist Joe Ranieri. Joe, what conditions will fire crews in Washington County and across the area be facing as we head into the overnight hours tonight?
Well, across the area, we're going to be looking at sunny and hot conditions, but the winds really won't be a factor. But again, it doesn't take much to see a small fire burn out of control, as we just saw. It went from 2 acres earlier this afternoon to ballooning into 80 acres. So as we look at the winds, the rest of your Sunday night, it's going to be relatively calm, really along the coast and throughout much of the area and throughout parts of the Northwest. But then heading into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night near the Columbia River Gorge, those winds pick up again. But here locally, the winds really won't be playing much of a factor, and we don't have any watches and warnings. But you travel south a little bit, again, that air quality alert is going to be in place at least until tomorrow throughout parts of Eugene, Bend, and Burns, and over into eastern Oregon. Also have an excessive heat watch that just kicked in east of Madras. The other thing we're paying close attention to, John, is this line of thunderstorms that's been moving in through parts of southern Oregon and in central Oregon. You can see that blue area. That is the hail that's falling just south of Madras and near Madras or near Bend right now. And those thunderstorms will continue to move through the next couple of hours before seeing calmer conditions heading into tomorrow. And we'll be seeing basically a stretch of sunny and warm conditions a good portion of next week. I'll talk about that in a few minutes.
All right. Thanks, Joe. We'll see you soon. Well, new this evening, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says a man is dead after a tragic accident on the Columbia River. Daisy Caballero is in the newsroom for us tonight. So, Daisy, what exactly happened here?
Well, John, I'm told a 72-year-old man was wakeboarding when he got caught in the boat propeller. Though how exactly that played out is still under investigation, whether he drowned or died from the injuries from the propeller. This all happened a little after 11 this morning. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says they believe the rope that was connected to the wakeboard got wrapped around the propeller. Then he got pulled under the boat. The group the man was with called 911 for help. And we're told that they pulled the man out of the water and onto the swim deck of the boat. By the time first responders arrived, he was pronounced dead.
So it's not uncommon for a tow rope to get caught in the propeller of a boat. That does happen. it doesn't normally end this way.
The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says while the incident was rare, water safety should always be top of mind when out on the water this summer. Deputy Plock is encouraging people in the water to wear a life jacket. As a reminder, Oregon law states children 12 years and under are required to wear one, and there has to be a life jacket for each person on the boat. Here's another tip he shared.
We encourage people just to make the best decisions they can to recreate safely when they're doing tow sports. Try to have somebody who's experienced with you on the boat so that they can help you, avoid situations.
And the medical examiner will determine the cause of death of that 72-year-old man. I was told more details will be shared either later today or tomorrow. John, back to you.
All right, Daisy, thank you. Well, this is the second drowning in less than 24 hours. Emergency responders recovered the body of a man who drowned in Hag Lake yesterday evening. At around 7, witnesses told Washington County deputies they saw a man jump off the fishing pier, but eventually went underwater after struggling to swim. After a 2-hour search, crews pulled out the body of 32-year-old Vielman de la Cruz Lopez. Earlier this afternoon, Portland police flooded the area of southeast Milwaukee and Powell, where a group of street racers had gathered. Here are some viewer photos sent to KGW. Portland police say it initially started on southeast Morrison. That's where officers arrested a 17-year-old driver. Our Sydney Dorner spoke with one Northeast Portland woman who has witnessed street racing for years now. Sydney, what has she seen?
John, today I talked with Seneca Hall, who lives off Northeast 82nd, an area notorious for illegal activity. She says she barely got any sleep last night, waking up to loud car screeches and cars even parked in her driveway.
I was asleep and my son came and woke me up. And when I came out and I looked outside, everybody was just all on the street. They parked all of them behind my son's car, parked in the driveway. It felt like I was in Vegas.
Portland police were busy this weekend working to shut down illegal street races, arresting at least 11 people Saturday night into Sunday morning and towing 10 cars. Seneca Hall lives with her elderly mother and children near Northeast 82nd, saying she's constantly on defense because of the dangerous activity like these drag races.
And I heard the screeching noises and the crowd just loud, just so loud of crowds. And by that, I said, yeah, what is going on? You know, it was just chaotic behavior.
According to PPB, there were takeovers at least 6 different intersections throughout the city, one including a driver who was arrested after doing donuts near Southeast 10th and Ash Street. Another was arrested near Northeast 82nd Avenue and Fremont, where a man was spinning in the intersection and then fled on foot after officers used spike strips to flatten his tires. They caught him in someone's yard by using a canine unit. Portland police said they were able to make at least 50 traffic stops thanks to getting tipped off about these street races via social media earlier this week. Hall says the many arrests this weekend are a relief to people like her who have been disturbed by these takeovers for years.
I feel like they are on the means of doing what they're supposed to do as far as tackling down on these takeovers. It's crazy because these people are, you're taking over these neighborhoods and people are getting hurt, people are getting hit. Like I said before, you need to be asleep.
Now, during Friday night's street racing takeover mission, 2 people were killed when police tried to pull over a car who then hit a power pole, killing the 2 people inside. They say they will continue to patrol and look for illegal street races tonight, like the one we just mentioned at Southeast Powell and Milwaukee. John, back to you.
All right, Sydney, thank you. We will be monitoring that going into the evening. Well, police have identified the man that was threatening people with a machete and a hatchet in Portland's Old Town neighborhood yesterday afternoon. Police say around 3 in the afternoon, 44-year-old Bernard Anthony Johnson was reportedly threatening people. Then he went into ground control on Northwest 5th Avenue. The arcade was evacuated and streets were shut down as police tried to talk with Johnson. After about an hour and a half, police say he appeared to use drugs and lose consciousness. That's when officers arrested him. He's booked in jail and charged with menacing, unlawful use of a weapon, and an outstanding warrant. Well, turning to wildfire coverage, firefighters in eastern Oregon have made excellent progress on the Durkee fire yesterday. The fire is now up to 80% containment. As of today, officials say it has burned nearly 295,000 acres in parts of Malheur and Baker counties. Crews are monitoring and mopping up heat spots found around the fire. In Washington, there is a red flag warning around Lake Chalan, which is not helping firefighters on the front lines of the Pioneer Fire. That's the fire burning near the town of Stehekin. The fire has burned over 35,000 acres and is now 12% contained. Sprinklers and hoses are being used throughout the town in hopes of protecting homes as the fire creeps closer. Well, still, the Pioneer Fire is having a domino effect on the community of Stehekin. Now, this would usually be the busy summer months for tourism around Lake Chalan, but with Stehekin under level 3 go now evacuation orders, businesses are hurting. The owner of the Lake Chalan Boat Company says they usually run 150 people a day across the lake, but says the last month is just as bad as 2020, their worst year ever. He is asking people to support businesses in the area as soon as possible.
If you have vacations planned for this year over here, try to move them to next year. It would be very helpful for us. If you can do those kind of things, it helps us out. Move them out, do gift cards, do something, help our local, do the same for our friends. Any of that stuff will help us tremendously. It is tough. Chalan as a whole is getting hit, but Stehekin is getting devastated.
Well, that man is a Stehekin resident. He says locals in town are resilient and will stay strong as the fire continues to burn just a mile and a half away. A traffic alert we want to remind you of this weekend. The Hawthorne Bridge is completely closed to traffic. It's part of a year-long project to pave and repair the bridge. Drivers are going to need to find another bridge to cross while detours have been set up for bicyclists and pedestrians. The bridge is set to reopen tomorrow morning at 5.